2025 for me is a year of sort of micro changes because I've come to realise I can't make big, massive steps. In my busy life, when am I going to find the time to do sort of 3 1-hour workouts a week? So let me just run through my day on how I try and keep myself healthy, happy, and looking and feeling good. So when I wake up in the morning, and I'll be honest, not every morning it's easy to get up. I often have to use this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique to sort of get myself out of bed. But I'll try and have some water, and I'll put it there the night before, and take my thyroid medication. Here we go. And just like many of you, probably you'll pick up your phone, you'll scroll. I'll have a look at what's come into the Harper Clinic inbox, check my Instagram, maybe go through a few TikToks, and make my way out of bed. So then I'll just go to the bathroom and to apply my HRT, get myself going, and brushing my teeth. So see you in a moment. I'm just going to make sure I get my 2 minutes of brushing my teeth in before I have my coffee, before I have anything to eat. So first thing in the morning for me. I'll make my way downstairs because I do like to have a cup of coffee and just stick my head out of the door just to get a little bit of fresh air. Just like to stick my head out of the door because I feel the air's a little bit stale. Maybe if it's not too cold, pop outside. And by that time, it's probably about half an hour or so because you have to leave half an hour before you have your tea or coffee after you've taken your thyroid meds. So I like to take my coffee black in the morning because one of my healthy habits is intermittent fasting. So I try and postpone eating until about 10, 11 o'clock. And that's also when I will take my supplements because if you take them on an empty stomach, you can feel a little bit nauseous, and I know I have at times. So I'll have my coffee black, but I'll add in some collagen, okay? And I'll add in a little bit of creatine into it. And then you might think this is a bit lazy. I make my way back upstairs because I like to have it in bed, often with my heated blanket on. And when the coffee's being made, I do try and maybe do some stretches or do my squats, and just try and do things, sort of habit stacking and sort of just some stretches really, just to sort of stretch my back out and things. So whilst it's being made, for me, it's all about sort of trying to layer things and making it as easy as possible. So I'll get my coffee, I'll go upstairs, and then I'll probably do some emails. So the days I'm in my clinic, I sort of leave the home at about 9:30. I make my way to the tube station, and I'm very aware of how many steps I get in my day. So there's no target. It's nothing like, I've got to make 10,000, because that was just an arbitrary number created by a Japanese scientist. We know from science anything above 4,000 steps is really good for your health. So the more that you do, the better. And also, if you set yourself a target and then you don't reach it, you can often feel a bit maybe like a failure or a loser. And I don't like to feel like a loser. So, if I can get 5,000 or 6,000 steps in a day, that's really good for me. I'm also sort of keeping it real and realistic. Today, I made scrambled eggs with some spring onions, some cumin seeds, and a chili. Going back to my Pakistani roots, I love things spicy. So I'll usually always have some eggs in the morning, maybe sort of half a piece of toast or a bagel alongside it. And that's when I will take my supplements. So to keep me fit and healthy, what I've done with my supplements is I don't want to overload myself or overthink it. So I've created a little system for myself. I like to call it my Harper hack, that I'm sort of varying my supplements on alternate days. You know, I always take iron, I always take B complex. There's a history of dementia in my family, so you know, B complex really helps with that. Always take my vitamin D. And I personally need to take a slightly higher dose because of my medical history. Always a probiotic for good gut health, because that has such a bearing on mood, on brain health, on you know, every sort of aspect of you. And yeah, so I'll take my supplements then, because some of them are what we call fat soluble. So you need to have some good fats like eggs or avocados, or even, you know, if your coffee is milky. And I might just have another cup of tea at that time, or I'll have my first cup of tea at that time. And usually I quite like to add some cardamoms in it, because it sort of gives that sweetness and flavour, and it reminds me of home when I was growing up. For lunch, it's more of a brunch that I'll have, so I'll probably eat once I get into clinic, or here at home when I have my eggs, it's probably around about sort of 11 o'clock, and then probably not have lunch and have another coffee around 3-4 o'clock, and then head home. What I've noticed is, because I'm just on a small dose, I haven't had that many side effects, you know, not sort of major nausea or vomiting. But you know, for me last year, I had gone to see a cardiologist because my blood pressure was starting to creep up. You know, one of my cousins had died sort of suddenly. And so what I found is these GLP-1s have been a game changer for me. They help me feel fuller. They help me sort of control and curb my portions, which, as many of you might, you know, coming from South Asian heritage, know that, you know, portions when we grow up are sort of such massive portions. So it's helped me to sort of reconnect and re-educate my brain around food, and taken away a little bit of that anxiety around eating for me, because I was always worried, am I going to gain weight? Am I going to gain weight? Am I going to gain weight? You know, I often used to joke and say I only have to look at a croissant and I gain weight. So they really helped me to manage my insulin sensitivity, as it improved it, helped to curb my appetite, keep me feeling fuller longer. And because I'm only on a small dose, you know, very little, minimal side effects. As I said, it's been a game changer. When I'm heading to bed, obviously, again, my 2 minutes of brushing my teeth, you know, wash my face. I like to use a bit of a face oil. I don't have some fancy skincare routine, other than I will now, it's one of the things I started to do in 2025, is wear my LED mask. 10 minutes every single night. Oops. It's easy to do, and I think it's helped with my skin, sort of evening it out. So I really think it's been very helpful, and I've been consistent so far in 2025, doing it almost every night. My bedtime supplements are taking my magnesium and my better sleep supplement, which also has a little bit of vitamin D in it, and some calming ingredients. And so that's usually what I will take every single night before I go to bed. Magnesium is a must. So if you've got any comments or any questions about anything that I've talked about, then do add them below, and don't forget to subscribe.